My wife was having an affair with our mailman. But when I checked our security footage, I discovered she was also sleeping with 3 other men on the same day. Let me take you back to how this all started. Sarah and I had been married for 8 years. Picture perfect suburban life, white picket fence, golden retriever named Max, weekend barbecues with the neighbors. She worked from home as a graphic designer. I commuted downtown to my accounting firm. Everyone called us relationship goals. "You two are so lucky," our friends would say. Still acting like newlyweds after all these years. And honestly, I believed it too. Sarah would greet me at the door every night with a kiss and my favorite bourbon already poured. We'd cook dinner together, binge Netflix shows, make love like we were still dating. Life was good. But then tiny things started feeling off. First, it was the packages. We were getting deliveries constantly: Amazon, FedEx, UPS. When I'd ask Sarah about them, she'd wave it off. "Just work supplies," she'd say. "New skincare routine." Always had an explanation. Then I noticed she'd started wearing perfume during the day. Not for date nights or going out. Just regular Tuesday afternoons when she was supposedly working from home in her pajamas. "New scent?" I asked one morning. "Oh, this old thing?" "I've had it forever," she laughed, but her eyes didn't meet mine. The mailman thing started as a joke between us. Rick had been our postal carrier for 2 years, mid-40s, divorced, kind of flirty in that harmless small-town way. Sarah would always time her morning coffee to when he arrived. "Your wife's got a crush on the mailman," my buddy Jake teased at poker night. "She's just being friendly," I defended her. God, I was so naive. The breaking point came on a Thursday. I'd forgotten my laptop charger and drove home during lunch. As I pulled into our driveway, I saw Rick's mail truck parked outside. Weird, he usually came in the mornings. I walked to the front door and heard sounds coming from our bedroom upstairs. My heart stopped. I stood frozen in my own hallway, listening to my wife of 8 years moaning another man's name. The floor felt like it was dissolving beneath me. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. I should have burst in. Should have confronted them. Instead, I quietly left and drove back to work in complete shock. Spent the rest of the day staring at spreadsheets, trying to process what I'd heard. That night, Sarah acted completely normal. Made my favorite pasta, asked about my day, cuddled up to me on the couch like nothing had happened. "You seem quiet tonight," she said, stroking my hair. "Just tired," I managed. But I couldn't let it go. I needed proof. I needed to know how long this had been going on, how deep this betrayal ran. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I started watching our security camera footage. We had cameras installed after a break-in scare last year. Front door, back door, driveway. I'd never actually looked at the recordings before. Why would I? I started with that Thursday, fast-forwarding through hours of empty driveway until Rick's truck appeared. 11:47 a.m. He walked to our door with a small package. Sarah answered in a silk robe. They talked for maybe 30 seconds. Then she stepped aside and let him in. He didn't leave until 1:23 p.m. Nearly 2 hours. My hands were shaking as I scrolled back through more footage. Wednesday. Tuesday. Monday. And that's when I saw something that shattered my entire reality. Monday, Rick arrives at 11:30 a.m. Leaves at 12:45 p.m. Monday, FedEx truck arrives at 2:15 p.m. Different guy, younger, athletic. Leaves at 3:30 p.m. Monday, pizza delivery at 6:45 p.m. We didn't order pizza that night. Sarah said she wasn't hungry. This guy stays until 7:20 p.m. Monday, Uber arrives at 8:30 p.m. Random sedan. Driver comes to the door. Stays 45 minutes. 4 different men. In one day. While I was at work, completely oblivious. I scrolled back further. The pattern was everywhere. 4 months. How many? How long? How did I not see this? I felt physically sick. This wasn't just an affair, this was something else entirely. Something calculated. Systematic. But wait, it gets worse. As I'm scrolling through weeks of footage, I noticed something that made my blood run cold. Sarah wasn't just letting these men in. She was paying them. I could see her handing over cash or envelopes after each visit. My wife wasn't just cheating on me. She was paying for sex. She was essentially running some kind of operation out of our house while I went to work every day to pay our mortgage. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to scream. I wanted to drive to her office and confront her right then. Instead, I did something smarter. I copied everything. Hours and hours of footage. Screenshots with timestamps. I organized it all by date and time. Built an entire case file like I was preparing for court. Because I was. The next morning, I acted normal. Kissed her goodbye, told her I loved her, went to work like always. But instead of going to my office, I drove straight to the best divorce attorney in the city. This is. He paused, reviewing my evidence. This is actually prostitution. She could face criminal charges. I don't want her arrested, I said. I just want out. With everything. Here's what we did. We waited. For 2 more weeks, I pretended everything was normal while gathering more evidence and getting all my ducks in a row. Separate bank account. New apartment lined up. All our assets documented. Then on a Friday morning, I handed Sarah divorce papers right as she was getting ready for her 11 a.m. delivery. "What is this?" she asked, genuinely confused. "Rick's running late today," I said calmly. "But don't worry, I'm sure your 2 o'clock appointment will be on time." The color drained from her face. "I can explain." 8 months, I interrupted. "I have 8 months of security footage. Every single encounter. Every payment. Everything." She collapsed onto our kitchen counter, sobbing. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this," she kept saying. "It just started as. I was lonely, you work so much." But I was done listening to excuses. The divorce was finalized in 4 months. I kept the house, the car, and most of our savings. Sarah had to move back in with her parents in another state. The security footage never went public, but word gets around in small towns. Rick got transferred to a different route. The FedEx guy, the pizza delivery guy, the Uber driver, I have no idea what happened to them, but they all stopped coming around. 6 months later, I met Jessica at a coffee shop downtown. She's kind, honest, and most importantly, she works outside the home. We installed new security cameras last week. But this time, we both have access to the footage. Trust, once broken, changes you. But it also teaches you to value the real thing when you find it again. Have you experienced something like this? Tell me in the comments.